RJB here, back with another epic video. But first, a small little announcement. It turns out that the best of 5 series between Rabbit and Mong doesn't have a best of 5. It doesn't have a 5th match. It's not a best of 5, it's a best of 4. No clue why they played the best of 4, but there's no 5th game, so I cannot give that set a conclusion. That means it's time for what we're here for today. That is Hamburger Sasu's tournament. Hamburger Sasu hosted a tournament on the weekend of 27th of February and 28th of February. And the participants can be found here in this box there on the bottom. We've got a lot of players we've seen before, players like JH or Voss, under the name Janus, Kim Sang-suk as Dave, never seen before. Doromi, I've seen him before, but I've never casted a match of Doromi. He's a 2v2 player and a 3v3 player. He's very, very good. Uses the name Clark. SH we've seen before as Ryan Teacher. He's on the name Most. And then we've got Ameba City, who we've seen before as Sophia Major, on the name Bart. Dap Dap He is also known as Gold Tong Kong, who we've seen before on the channel against Hamburger Sasu, on the name Vacuum. And we've got GangTaewan against Trey, and as Trey, and Leebokgu as the player Chest. And I'm gonna start this series, or this series of videos, with the match or the set between Trey and Chest, or GangTaewan and Leebokgu. So let's dive into the very first match between these two players and see what we're looking at. We've got Chest here, or Leebokgu, on the Protoss. And we've got Trey here, or GangTaewan, on the Terran. The blue Terran, blue against blue, Protoss against Terran. Now this tournament from Hamburger Sasu has a couple of small rules. One of them is that the Protoss cannot build on the middle of the map, and the Protoss can only build one extra base, or that's what I believe to be the case. Not sure if that's really one part of the rules, if it's one extra base or no extra bases whatsoever. Anyway, the goal is to nerf down Protoss quite a bit, to give Terran and specifically Zerg a better fighting chance, because those two races always tend to have a bad win ratio against Protoss. So Trey here is going for a very fun build order. Vultures. Starts off with the barracks very early on, and a gas, then the depot, and then of course 2 factories to get those vultures. And this is going to work, because Leebokgu is, well, not very far away, but his zealot is going to be a little bit late here, because the scouting isn't finding GangTaewan. It's actually on the very last location that he's scouting that he finds GangTaewan. That means that GangTaewan has a lot of time to get his factories finished completely without any harassment whatsoever and get his vultures up and running. He's got 3 Marines there in the front, 1 SCP there scouting on the bottom side. Zealot is arriving on the scene but turns around because Leebokgu isn't feeling comfortable with going in for the fight yet. He wants to ball up a couple more Zealots. He doesn't have information about what GangTaewan is up to, but once he sees those vultures, he's gonna feel maybe a little bit screwed. Those vultures are very strong against Zealots, and Zealots cannot do all that much. He's already getting a cannon up there in the front. He might want to wall off these 2 little side openings on that choke. SV there in the base has all the information he needs. The Cybercore is delayed. He delayed the Cybercore by a lot. Not sure why he delayed it by so much. That might screw up his late game plans or his middle game plans. So now we've got mines and speed on the way here for GangTaewan. He's going to get complete control over the middle of the map. He might even try to sneak in, although that might not be possible with only 2 vultures. Leebokgu is very smartly spreading out his zealots a little bit to make it harder to drive through with those vultures. Getting a second command center there in the back, because you really do need an extra command center when you're playing against a +1 Nexus, specifically when you go for such an expensive build order as this one. He's very early gas and he needs a second gas, and then you have 6 SCVs on the gas. which means that you don't have a whole lot of SCVs on the minerals. And that's very early into the match. Already at 4:30 he has got double gas, which is more than what most players would have at this point in the match. So a lot of gas is going to be spent, a lot of minerals are going to be spent, and he needs that command center. Leebokgu tries to clear out the middle there, stopping some mines from being placed down, but does lose a lot of his zealots there. Great control there from GangTaewan, manages to keep Leebokgu confined to his base for now, mines up the middle to prevent him from moving out in the future. This makes me wonder, what is Leebokgu going to do in response? We got 2 robos there for, of course, a shuttle and 2 reavers. Citadel of Doom there in the back. Already getting cannons around his nexus because he knows that it's a real option for GangTaewan to get an early starport and go for a tank drop to kill some probes. That's always something to be scared of when you're the Protoss and the opponent goes for a very fast factory build order. But he doesn't know that GangTaewan has 3 factories instead of 2. Some players will go for 2 factories into a starport so they can do the very fast tank drop, but if you get the 3rd factory, you cannot afford to get that the very quick starport to go for a very quick tank drop. So even though Leebokgu is playing it very safe, in this specific case, he didn't have to. But he doesn't know what we know. Do mind that this is gonna cost him just a little bit more than if he hadn't done it. Like, there's always a trade-off. You're always trading something away in favor of something else. He's going for another shuttle. He went for double shuttle and then double reaver. A storm upgrade there on the way and shuttle speed as well. No zealot speed, no level 1 attack, armor or shield, no air armor or a weapon either. 3rd Stargate there. This kind of means that he's gonna go for drops for sure. He's gonna try to fly over some of his units into GangTaewan's base or Trey's base, but Trey has a lot of vision on the sides with all these mines. He's playing this very smart. The mines are gonna get caught and explode, so he knows they're probably there because he saw the vultures run to the bottom and back to the middle. The tanks have arrived in the front. The tanks are gonna try to push through. Not a lot of cannons there, so only a couple of cannons have to be taken down before you get into the base. But Leebokgu has a shuttle with a reaver and a 2nd reaver finishing up as well. And Leebokgu is very good at microing his shuttle reaver to fight against this specific army composition. He's very good at it. So expect him to be able to defend. Although the 2 Goliaths are firing on the shuttle, forcing the shuttle to unload and maybe even kill the shuttle before the Goliaths go down. The shuttle is safe, the reavers are still firing on it. Oh, the tanks take down the double reaver very quick. Great control there from GangTaewan. Does lose his own 2 tanks here to the mines, but his vultures are in the base. He snipes the probe. Does a scan on the Dark Templars because he knows they're there. This is insanely good play here from GangTaewan. Definitely not what I was expecting from him. He's playing a really good set here against Leebokgu. Gets his vultures there into the back where there's no cannons on the top side. Starts sniping some probes. That's unprecedented. This is hurtful, painful. Leebokgu's probe count is already shrunk by about 6 or 7, maybe even 9. Not sure about the specifics, but we see about 5 kills, about 3 kills there. More Dark Templars are spawning. Want to clear those 2 vultures out there at the bottom on the top side. Meanwhile, at home, he is pretty rich, 45 SCVs, of which 9 on the gas. Got 5 factories finished and 2 more on the way. The starport also finally coming in as an armory, but not yet getting any upgrades on his tanks. Oh wait, he already finished the level 1 attack. That's a very, very quick level 1 attack. So he goes in for the push once again to keep Leebokgu on his toes. But Leebokgu is a little bit richer, out of 6 workers more. He used to have about 12 more. Sends some units into the fray, but the tanks on level 1 attack are just fighting this off so easily, and Leebokgu has no upgrades on his gateway units whatsoever. So his gateway units are definitely at a huge disadvantage, considering he's fighting against upgraded tanks and Goliaths. GangTaewan goes in a little bit too deep here though. Gonna get surrounded by zealots, but just about spawning. He'll try to get some shots up on those tanks. He's microing forward close towards the probes. This is really great play here from GangTaewan. It is risky, but it's great play. Gonna try to take down the tank. Sieges up here on the bottom side next to the probes. Probes are running away though, just in time. The probes all stay alive. Pulls them back, and that attack doesn't get the result he was hoping for, but he managed to push Leebokgu back into his base once again. So GangTaewan is on the offense. He is on the offense and doing it successfully. But The science facility there on the way for level 2 upgrades on his mech, because that's the only reason he isn't getting level 2 mech attack just yet. He's gonna start it up soon though. Once the facility finishes, probably gonna focus on getting that second armory up and more depots as well. Lifts it up. He is not gonna get EMP. Some players really like to get EMPs for some vessels, but he is not getting EMP. He lifts up the facility immediately and doesn't care about the EMP upgrade. I personally really prefer to have EMP at least finished. The science facility just lands up into the air just in time, keeps the shuttle away with the extended vision from the facility so the turrets can shoot up on the hill. Leebokgu hasn't managed to get any attacks going yet, but he's managed to keep himself alive in the face of aggression. He handled that really, really well. He handled that really well. A lot of players, I've seen a lot of players actually, die to that push. With the vultures, the tanks, and the Goliaths, a lot of players die to it because they don't exactly know what to do. But the Reaver Shuttle Micro is very strong against it. But then of course you need to be able to micro your Reaver Shuttle very, very well. So finally, upgrades are on the way. Range, weapon, I think he's got saddle speed as well. Flying over the bottom side, gonna try to land some SCV kills. There's a lot of turrets on the bottom side, almost no Goliath to intercept though, no anti-air. The Goliaths are on the top side, not on the bottom side, although he's relocating to the bottom side to try and intercept them. Mines there on the unloading location. Templar arrives on the scene, Templar storms, Templar gets 12 kills. Not massive, but it's something. It's something. But considering there's 3 command centers finished and the 4th one on the way, he's got just enough. Oh wait, there's another Templar in there! And that one gets 23 SCV kills. Dirty move there from Leebokgu. Keeping it. There's still another Templar in there. The Templar gets a storm off and once again kills about 4 or 5. So going down from about 70 all the way down to 29. Good drop there, and GangTaewan not being very safe. He's being a little bit sloppy there with not killing the shuttles, not making sure the shuttles are dead as soon as he can kill them. He had the Goliaths to kill them, but decided not to. Auto drop already there on the way, but this one might get taken down by the Goliath. Goliaths are not yet moving. Goliaths moving to intercept, take 1 down, take 2 down, and that is the shuttle shut down, unable to arrive on target destination. Leebokgu, 80 probes, very rich. GangTaewan, 40 probes, SCVs, not very rich, but he is pretty much maxed out on army size. Considering most of the time you have like 30 more supply in SCVs than he does right now, his army is, well, at a really good size. Not a lot of tanks, but a lot of Goliaths and a lot of vessels. He did get EMP, I guess. I guess he did get EMP because he landed the facility past the hill. So I do think he decided to go for EMP after all. Level 2 attack finishing up soon, level 1 armor also finishing up soon. His army is growing stronger and stronger. Level 1 attack, they are finished for Leebokgu. Not getting shields, not getting armor, but he is going for a frontal attack, ready to bust down that front door. Also, of course, the energy upgrade for Templars, they're on the way so that this Templar spawn with 62 energy comes in with a frontal attack and unload here on top of the tanks behind the wall. A lot of Goliaths there arriving on the scene, ready to take down all those units that are being unloaded. Templar there in the mix as well. Templar scores from the Goliaths, they can take it down. Settlers are breaking through, but the tanks on the hill keep him alive, keep him afloat for now. All he gets is a couple of Goliath kills, maybe 1-2 tank kills, and of course 2 turrets and a supply depot. Not what he was looking for, not what he wanted, but it's what he got. It is what he got, and it wasn't much. 56 SCVs now for GangTaewan. He is looking more healthy and healthy as time keeps passing and he keeps getting closer to the late game. A lot of 6 gateways there being added on for Leebokgu. Finally adding on the other upgrades for his gateway units as well. Fleet Beacon and a second Cyber Core for air upgrades. He's getting a weapon first. And doesn't have any upgrades for his air yet. Goes in for another shuttle drop attack, but there's still a lot of vision here on the sides. Like the mines are here on the side, got the raid there, the science facility there. It's going to be easy to intercept. He's now getting EMP, so it turns out he didn't have it yet, but he is getting it. So well, that's what matters. He is getting the EMP. He sees the value of the EMP. Level 2 attack is finished, level 1 armor finished as well. No air upgrades on the way, doesn't have a 3rd and 4th armory, so we can't even get them yet. Draw comes in for the top side, flies into Goliath. Goliath's gonna try to snipe those shuttles. One shuttle makes it, no shuttles make it through. But oh, ouch! That was a mine, killing almost all of his own Goliaths. A large group of Goliaths went down there, but he is up to something. He's looking to scan, hunting for shuttles, but there's cannons protecting the shuttles, and he can't really get in with the raids. The raid count is only on about 8. He goes on a second scan to see if they are leaving the base. He really wants to take down those shuttles. He moves out with his army at the same time as well. He's not gonna sit around and wait and give Leebokgu any more time to get attacks rolling. Looks like GangTaewan is feeling satisfied with what he's got right now. Mass attack against mass attack. Takes down those shuttles before they can really do much. This is looking brutal. This is looking brutal indeed. Great. Defensive matrices there from GangTaewan are beautiful. He's gonna push forward into Leebokgu's space. Leebokgu's being pushed back. Not much he can do here. His APM is skyrocketing to 400. Never seen Leebokgu play at 400 APM, but he really has to put everything in it. Everything that he can, because he is on the doorstep of getting taken down early. Only 15 minutes in. He's getting... GangTaewan's Terran is brutal. It's not a massive Terran, not a massive factory. That's a lot of factories actually. But he doesn't sit around for long, doesn't completely fill out his base, he just goes for the attack when he feels that he has the chance to do so. He's got level 2 weapon, almost level 3, level 1 armor. He feels he is strong enough because he also knows that Leebokgu is behind on upgrades, so he's using the chance while he's still ahead with upgrades to go for the attack and maybe finish and end the game. Leebokgu is not having much luck here. Leebokgu is not having much going for him. The Goliaths take down the settlers with ease, the tanks are firing from afar, the robos are in danger of getting taken down. Loses the Reavers as well. More units coming from back home to enter the base to keep up with the pressure and start moving forward and start killing everything he can. I've got a bad feeling about this one, Leebokgu. I've got a bad feeling about this one. GangTaewan is beasting. He's beasting. This is impressive Terran play. Marches forward a little bit deeper, places down the mine to keep the cells away. Reavers are spawning. Will they be able to do something? Tanks are going to get placed upon the hill here as well, and once those tanks are up on the hill... Well, actually, he doesn't even need those tanks up on the hill because the game looks over to me. It's only a matter of time before Leebokgu realizes that yes, the game is over. And Leebokgu leaves the game and loses the first match, the first battle between GangTaewan and Leebokgu. Not exactly what I was expecting when I saw the Protoss against Terran matchup here. But GangTaewan has impressed me. I am impressed, and I hope you are impressed as well. So let's give him a win. GangTaewan, first win of the day. Terran against Protoss, against Leebokgu is Protoss, which makes this all the more impressive than if it was, well, someone else's Protoss. So let's see if Leebokgu can claw himself back into the set by getting a win of his own. The matchup is the same, but switched around. Leebokgu is on the Terran, and GangTaewan is on the Protoss. The white, pink, this is pink, not white, this is pink. It's hard to differentiate sometimes when you're playing a match and you see a player who has the color tan, you've got a player who has the color pink, then you have a player who has the color white. Sometimes it's difficult to see the difference while you're playing. You're like, what am I looking at? What color is this? Whose army is this? Where am I? Who am I? Why am I here? Where do we come from? All those questions start popping into my mind when I see these colors that are so similar and hard to set apart. We started with a Nexus into a 4. It's going to be a choke there in the front. No, is it going to be a choke? Yes, it's going to be a choke. Now he builds the gateway before the pylon in the choke though. Usually players do pylon into gateway into choke. He does it a little bit the other way around. Leebokgu started off with 2 barracks into a command center. It's a little bit of a funny deviation from the usual. It's not a 3-gate, not a 3-rack. It's not a command center into racks. It's racks rack into command center. So he wants to have a little bit of both. He wants to have some offensive early game power, but he also wants to get rich. It's kind of like an in-between between two optimal states of play. But I got a feeling it's going to work out because GangTaewan does not have any offensive ability yet. There's one zealot. One little lonely zealot. Gonna find some marines there, but those 6 marines are definitely too strong to do anything against. He might just try to walk into the base, get information, to scout, to become wiser and smarter. Because knowledge is half the battle. As some wise, ancient Chinese folk guy once said, Sun Tzu, from the art of war, knowledge is power. So go to the bottom side there of the base. Still getting information. Cyber Quarter on the way. Pylons on the top and the bottom side. Well, Zealot on the top side, Pylon on the bottom side, just in case Leebokgu wants to build a barrack here and lift it over. Go for the fire bats with some stim and fry them. But that's not gonna happen. Robo in the front, still only a single cannon. It's very risky, but because he knows that Leebokgu is staying inside his base with this Zealot, he doesn't need a second one. Not yet. Not yet. Leebokgu there gets the factory, still only on 2 barracks. Doesn't have a lot of units, but does have a second command center. So he's gonna be rich soon. Now adding on 2 robos, 2 barracks as well. Realizing he probably needs more marines to defend. Because he keeps scouting the base there, he gets a little information. There's a 3rd. Well, now that's a citadel. He builds a citadel in the front instead of in the back. So 2 robo citadel in the front. Kind of exposed. Kind of exposed. Because there's only a single cannon that's easy to break through. And Leebokgu might try to go for a counter push before GangTaewan has any real offensive power. Not 1 armor, not weapon, but armor first. 2 cannons in the back to protect. Scan is up. No starport yet. No second factory yet. Machine shop is finishing up. Both players are just taking it slow for now. He also adds a support bay and the Templar's Archive in the front. This all just feels so risky. Putting all this in the front, like the robos I understand because you want everything in one centralized location to speed things up. But the support bay, the Templar's Archive, the Citadel of the Doom, this just feels so risky. It is easy to lose this when the opponent just decides to push through once they're strong enough, or when they're feeling lucky and going for a counter push after a failed frontal attack. The Leebokgu doesn't really have a frontal choke here though. There's an opening right there that can be abused and walked through, but he is going to plug it up there with a bunker. Might add on a second bunker and some fire bats inside those bunkers. And you're by flying to the back of the base, not sure why. But he's gonna need those upgrades though, because when you're going for 4 barracks, you're gonna need level 1 attack, at least. So he's gonna get that one for sure. Starport there on the way as well, some turrets on the sides. Quite early. Still doesn't have that many marines to defend. He's getting more of them though, because the 4 barrack production is quite good. But GangTaewan has other plans. He's not gonna let Leebokgu grow big. He's got a lot of gateways there, a lot of zealots on the middle, and a reaver, 2 reavers in fact, inside the shuttle. The bunkers are empty, goes for the attack, starts to unload, and now Leebokgu is caught unprepared. Does unload the marines from the bunker to stim them up, go for the defense here, but the reavers are managing to do so much damage. A lot of marines there though behind the wall, but he's gonna take down the wall first. He has to kill the turret to allow for reaver shuttle micro. Leebokgu now supply stuff. The attack has succeeded its purpose, breaking down the front, but hasn't done much with trying to kill more units. But there's 2 Dark Templars in the mix as well, goes for the push there. Reavers are unloading right there in the front, gonna try to shoot on the Marines. There's a scan coming out as well to kill the Dark Templars. All the Zealots have died, and the Reavers run away to safety with the micro. But both of the Reavers still alive and somewhat untouched. couple of Marines went down, but that was well defended from Leebokgu, who doesn't lose anything significant. He's still stuck in supply-stuck hell though, and it might last a little bit too long because he's still not producing any units whatsoever, waiting for depots to finish, and armories as well. Will we misplace the armory? That's painful. Once again, another drop there in the front, finishing up at the third robotics. Now about 5, 9 gateways, Starcraft there on the top side. Getting 2 more forges for more upgrades. Level 1 armor has finished, level 2 armor is on the way. Doesn't have level 1 attack yet. Level 1 air armor also on the way to make those shuttles just a bit stronger, but also to set up for the potential future carrier switch. There's almost nothing in between here on the top side to intercept those shuttles, so the shuttles are going to make their way through all the way towards the SCVs. While he's trying to defend the front there from the Reavers and the attack, starts to load there right next to the SCVs. There's 1 Templar, 2 Reavers firing on everything he can find. 2 Templars, in fact. Most of the SCVs there stay alive, but the Reavers all kill almost all the Marines. The 2 Reaver inside the shield is still alive. But when SCVs arrive back on the scene, goes for the Marines instead. Leebokgu is juggling, dancing back and forth. Reaver's still alive. Reaver's gonna try to run away. Stays alive, barely though. Gonna take down the shuttle, takes down the Reaver as well. But that's a lot of lost mining time there for Leebokgu, and he did lose a couple of his SCVs there as well. I think he lost about 14, 16, not too sure. But another attack already coming in through the front door. GangTaewan is on a roll, he's on fire. Leebokgu not giving any time to breathe. 2 Reavers, 2 Templars gonna storm the room. He leaves the game before he can actually get killed. And that is a very convincing start to this set by GangTaewan. Wins the Terran against Protoss, wins the Protoss against Terran, and Leebokgu gets taken out 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row, Leebokgu gets taken out. Oh, I forgot to change the names here. Like these 2 names, I forgot to change them. Like I did another cast a couple days ago, well yesterday, but I wasn't satisfied with it, so I forgot to change that one. It's gonna remove that one. So like, just ignore that was there. So yeah, it looks like Leebokgu is behind for now, but this is a best of 5. This is a best of 5. But this is part 1. Tomorrow we're gonna look at part 2 between Leebokgu and GangTaewan. And I'm kinda curious to see who is gonna win this. Leebokgu still has a chance to make a comeback. But GangTaewan is leading 2-0, and that is of course very much in favor of GangTaewan. So thanks for watching this first part of this best of 5 from a Hamburger Sasu tournament. And I hope to see you back tomorrow for part number 2. Thanks for watching.